we have learned what is communication skill now, right? When you look at a newspaper, it contains some news. When you read a news, when you read news, any newspaper, when you read, you have to be very, very focused to learn what is it talking about. Mostly, a lot of educated people, when they read newspaper, they don't understand it. Because they don't know how to read newspaper. It may look very simple for you, but it's not that simple. Okay? In Indian context, one of the best newspaper is the way you speak. If you say Times of India, I know you are a fashion lover, cinema lover, cosmetics lover, film magazine sort of a character of it. Because don't make sound. No pen sound. The first 2 days and all, I don't say I don't make sound. Because that's your basic character. In 3 days you must change. Otherwise I will change. So, inside Times of India, my first job was Times of India. I was in Times of India. My cousin joined Times of India. He became Vice President of Times of India. I keep saying, Times of India magazine is good for seeing where which movie runs and which movie is good, movie reviews and all that, but not serious news. Somebody said Malayalam Manorama. Aarake chattu in Keralathil ariyanengil Manorama vaaicham. Because number of pages, 5 pages are dedicated for dead fellows. In their life, they would have never come into paper. After death, they will come, and all old people will look. And their picture is not there, they are happy, they are not died. they decide whether they have died or not by looking at the paper. Poor fellows, they don't know that, in their life they can never see their picture there. And for each such advertisement, Manorama charges 6,000 rupees. And that's the best revenue for Manorama. And every district-wise there are death columns. That's the only newspaper, or probably Kerala is the only place where obituary has got that many number of pages. So no, don't. It may talk about where Sarita has gone, where Manchandi has gone, where somebody has gone this side and that. All these are rubbish. Nobody will ask. In any examination, in Thrissur while driving motorbike, whether it hit electric post or the bus or how many people died. Will there be a question? I don't know what is the interest. What if? Nobody will ask such questions. So when you look for a newspaper, one of the best standard newspaper in India is Hindu. You could read it online. Go to e-paper. Hindu also don't read the first page, second page, third page, fourth page. Go to 13th page, 12th page, 11th page. You have to do it and then send me reviews. And there you will see world page, WORLD, world, or international page. Everywhere on the top it is written state page, regional page, nation page, editorial page. Contributory pages are there. Experts will write on some topic. Don't have to read all that now. If you are not a good reader of newspaper, skip all these and then go to international world news. You may see some of the news. First look at from where is it reported. That means the reporting place is this. Second one, you know where what happened. So there are two questions. What happened? Second, where it happened. Where it happened is geography. What happened is current affairs. For that what is happening, there is a history. Correct? And that relates to what happened earlier to the present situation. Right? Palestine, Lebanon, Israel, news reported from Washington. That means America is looking at the problems of Palestine, Israel and all that, right? Fine? So you have three characters now. Two people who are fighting and the third person who is looking at the fight. You should look at it as a drama. You know what's called, if I am a paper contributor writing news in newspaper, I will never say I gave a news to the newspaper for printing. I say I gave my story to newspaper. Every person who writes, the reporter, what is the normal terminology which they use? I gave a story for today's. On Israel, I had a story today. That means the newspaper contributor gave a news. But local term is story. Story means what? There are some characters. So who are the characters now in this news? Lebanon, Israel, and there is somebody who is looking at it, right? And when it happened, you should look at it. Last 40 years people were fighting. Can you imagine? 40 years there is problem, conflict between two nations. Then you will learn who was Israel, who was the person originally there. Right? Then who invaded that nation? Why this problem is existing for long term? You may not get the whole story in the news, but that will give you a tag for studying about the problem. Don't read many newses. When you have got a newspaper, if this is your newspaper, the right top corner is the main news. There is a rule. When somebody enters this hall, you know where do they look? First, it is not the place, that's the place where they look. As we enter this hall, I will be looking there only. Because always we have a tendency to look the right corner. Got it? So the right corner in the newspaper is where you have to focus. If there is a big news with a big font which is written somewhere, that is also main news. If there is only one main news, that will be big font in the top corner, right corner. If there is one news there and another news somewhere else with a big font, that means there are two main newses. You can pick up whichever you want. So what you should read when you look at that newspaper, you will see the English which you learned in your classroom, the English which you learned in your textbook of English, Shakespeare's or maybe Macbeth or maybe all the writers, Coleridge or Keats or Shelley or all that will not be there in the newspaper, which is an entirely different English. Not in physics, chemistry, maths which you learn, or in business administration what you learn will not be the newspaper vocabulary. Newspaper vocabulary is entirely different. Right? So what you should do, anywhere you want to speak to somebody, write some article, your English is entirely different if you read newspaper regularly. So what do you get from newspaper? I told you, you get geography, you get history, and you also get nice vocabulary. Fine? And what happens today becomes a current affairs for you. Your age now as a student, whatever current affairs you collect will become, after a few years, your general knowledge. You understood? How do I remember, or how do you remember your mother took birth in this year, the age of your father, the name of your father? Did you wrote 10 times, my father's name is to learn by heart? How? Contextually used in many places, right? Correct or not? So similarly, how do I remember Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India? You think that I have learned the Indira Gandhi Prime Minister of India many times? I used to read newspaper. Got it? And the assassination happened when? Oh, I remember the day I joined my university for my master's degree, we didn't have a television. And the university itself never had a television those days. And because Indira Gandhi died, we got television. Because Because every student said we want to see the news. Immediately that day, in our hostel, the television was kept. All hostel fellows used to come there and then watch. And that's the first time when I saw television in my life. So do you think I will forget the year of Indira Gandhi's death and the date and all that? You understood? This is how we remember. That is how we remember everything which happens in our life. Relate to something to us, right? You understood? This is how you should relate and then learn. When you read every day, it becomes partly your life-related affair. Everyday affair. Where you don't have to learn by heart, which becomes your knowledge. And wonderful children. I remember Alappuzha, we have got a child whose name is Reshma. Reshma's mother came and told me that this is totally useless. This girl doesn't study, she sleeps all the time, don't take baths. I don't know what is to be done with this girl. I said, give it to me. Now onwards, she is my daughter. My daughter means, you know what do? I change their hairstyle. I scold them for not combing or trimming or not trimming. Correct or not? How many beatings you got? For not taking bath, for changing the color of the dress, if the skirt is not matching with the, I will tell you, this is not matching. Don't wear this. Next time in my class, if I get it, I will beat you from here up to the, no, from Alappuzha, she used to travel 58 kilometers to attend my class. Kayankulam is 50, not like this place, 58 kilometers in Kerala is 4 hours drive. I used to tell, go back, change the dress and come. Sir, by the time class will be over, I don't care. You cannot sit, go back. The dress is not very good. You look so awkward in this dress. Have you seen any teacher doing it? I'll tell you, you must watch. I have some of the old videos of Reshma. And her English, I wanted to improve. Because somebody says, this is my daughter, her English has to be good, right? So what do? I was asking my children to write reviews. Those days I told Reshma, don't write reviews. What she should do? Learn the whole news, make a brief, learn it completely, and present it as if a newsreader presents in a news channel. Record it video and then send me the WhatsApp. Every day, I remember 1 month, when she reads newspaper, she reads like today's main news, right? Sports news, international news, like that she will read. And when I used to listen to that, I say there is some error here, it's not how you should pronounce, this news is repeated here, the sequence is not correct. I send her back. I've got a sequence of things which is done for a few years. So fantastic. Entirely different. She has changed. Her hairstyle changed, look changed, black color became white color now. No joke. I remember, and wherever I go for lectures in that area, she will come. Let it be for teachers. I remember recently I went to Kayankulam for a teachers training program. All 90 teachers were there. From 9 different colleges, 10 teachers each. They are all university teachers and college teachers, senior most teachers, professors. Right? The college was sending a vehicle to pick me up. But Reshma will never allow somebody else to pick me up. In that area, if I go by train, Reshma only will pick up. Reshma said, I am coming. I said, don't worry, college is sending. No sir, I will come. So she came. She don't call me sir, she called me Chacha. Chacha will come. So she came. I went along with her. On the way I was asking, there is a song here. I shall overcome. I shall overcome. And the Hindi version is Hum hoge kamiyab. Hum hoge kamiyab. And she said, I don't know. I want to know who wrote this. You know what do you do generally? Google, no? I said, you Google. So she started Googling. I was making fun. And all the drive, she was only Googling. No, I am not getting it. I said, Hum hoge kamiyab. I shall overcome. No, something wrong. Hum, AlAin. Hum means we shall overcome. I said, yeah. I am not checking your general knowledge, I am checking your presence of mind. So what do you do? We shall overcome. Immediately, correct? This is how I check my children. I'll give wrong information and then ask them. They will spend some 10 minutes. You should have presence of mind. You understood yesterday we were doing it. It's not your fun. Anything which somebody says, immediately your presence of mind. She was asking, we had a lot of fun, right? Whenever you say something, don't I make some fun out of it? We had a lot of fun. It's very simple. I remember in image processing, I had a satellite image and then I was tilting it, rotating it, stretching it, contrast stretching. In an international conference, somebody was asking me, how can you do this? I said, whenever I do something, image never objects. You understood? So the international conference where I am presenting, I have an image, what am I doing? Rotating it, changing it, inverting it, all that I can do, right? Somebody asked me, how can you do that? I said, yeah, image never objected, so I can do anything on image. That's called the presence of mind. Understood? Immediately your answer should come. And that ability I want my children to get. How do you get? Is how it. Right? I asked her mother when she met me first, how much mark you will give to this child? Which I asked you to rate yourself, right? Don't make sound. Only one sound will come if I hit you. That will be the last sound. Then she said, I will give 20 marks to this child. Today, if I ask that mother, the mother says, my daughter is 200%. Nobody can beat her. In 2013, I've got a trust called Shiksha. I select the best children. Whomever I met in the whole world, I select the best children. 2012, the award was for Anusha, who is now in MIT. 2013, the award was for Reshma. So Reshma wanted me to go to her school. January 2nd to 4th, she was there with me in a camp, which I conducted in Kodungalur. Earlier, not in Nana. I had camps in different places. I had in Kottayam, I had in Kodungalur. So in Kodungalur, we had an ashram. In that ashram, we were having a camp in which Reshma was present. And then Reshma said, Chacho, I was trying all through my effort. I went to principal, asked to invite you for a lecture. Principal said, no, there are a lot of people, we don't want it. Who is this Yashimar? So I got angry. I gifted your books. That money is also lost. She purchased 23 copies of my books. Many of you got free, right? She's the only one who purchased, but not from me, but from somebody else. And he didn't pay me the money. That's a different matter. I gifted some copy to somebody. He gave it to her and took money. Then the principal said no. She went to the president's house, the chairman of the school, went to secretary's place. All of them said only principal can decide. So she was so depressed. When she met me, I said, don't worry, I'll come to your school. Without inviting, I said, don't worry, the principal will stand up when I go there. I will make him to invite me. So I asked somebody else to write a letter to the principal saying that the whole world, wherever I went and gave a lecture for last 1 year, 1.5 years, I met more than 2 lakhs of students, in which Reshma is the best student. I am going to give an award. Do you want that to happen in your school or somewhere else? Right? Immediately he called him. Sir, you should come. I said, I am not coming because you told your student that I don't have to come now. I'll send somebody else. The award will be given to you, but I will not come. Then he was talking to many people, tried to influence me. Somehow you should come at least for a few minutes. In a few minutes I have to travel from Hyderabad, right? But I went. I said, I am not going to speak to children because you didn't invite me. It is me who came there, right? I'll just give award and then go. But by the time I gave award to her in the assembly program, there were 3,700 children in school. I didn't speak anything, I came out. Many children were coming and pulling my hands because Reshma educated all the teachers and students there that the improvement which she has is because of the class which she attended. And when I went to the principal's room, I saw there is a board in which there are a lot of quotations written by date. At least 3-4 days quotations are there. These are all my quotations which I post in the group, or from my book they pick up and then post them. Got it? So one student, that's only one student in the whole school. She made a lot of difference. And what is the improvement which she has? I remember Adur is a place where I went for a lecture that happened to be on 25th December. She came. And that was for a general public program. There were 300, 400 people. Inauguration of a hall. My first lecture was the inauguration program, in which Reshma Kai said, come to stage. I asked her, take the stage and speak. What is December 25th speciality? Christmas? That every fool knows in this world, yeah? Whose birthday? Whose death day? India, there is a prime minister who took birth. She will tell everything. Assume 365 days you learn. What is speciality of that day? Only 365 days you have to learn. Can't you learn per day, one day, what is special for that day? Possible or not? 365 days if you learn, the whole knowledge, history will be with you. You understood what I'm saying? Anything which happened in this world happens only 365 days. So 365 days if you remember what happened each day, and how do you remember this? Use it sometime, somewhere. Got it? I remember when we had this lecture for 90 teachers, immediately when she was driving back home, she records a WhatsApp message which says what I spoke in the class, and that instruction for teachers. And I was supposed to tell the teachers how you should improve your teaching skill to make a good student a good student. Reshma is there. I told her, come onto the stage and speak your experience. So half an hour lecture to the professors in the college was given by a 9th grade student. You understand? A 9th grade child is going and talking to teachers how to teach children. Right, tell me? I did it long back, like that earlier also. I have a student who was in 9th grade, he came and told he wanted to become a space scientist. I said, what do you know about space here? Many people do. Yesterday, for a student, somebody came and said, space department. People come up. Because I am a space scientist. I keep saying, I don't know anything about space. Because most of the people think that space department means they know many things about space. Space department people don't know anything about space. Astronomy department people stand on the earth to look at the space. Space department people stand on the space and look at the earth. We are just viewers. Space and astronomy department is like this. So what do I know? I know many things about the details about earth, but nothing about space. We only know one thing, how to keep satellite to there. And that if we don't know also, no problem. It will stay there. Anything we send it will not fall down. It will stay there. If it goes beyond atmosphere, you don't have to do anything. It will be there. Okay? You have to send it beyond atmosphere. What is the atmosphere height? 140 kilometers. Right? Many people ask, how do you send a satellite to space? Which is east? This side? Yes? Where is India? East, west, north, south. Don't say north, eh? Because if I am the map, like, India is the southeast, right? Yeah. So, you said later about Which side is Muscat? You have to cross Muscat, Oman to reach India? Yes or no? This is southeast? Correct? This side? So if I throw one stone from here, where does it go? It will go and fall here, right? Right? If I use more force and throw, it will go and fall on Rani's house. So just from there, if I throw little more force, it will go far. Little more force, it goes to Oman, say. Right? Little more force, it goes to Arabian Sea. Little more force, it goes to India. Imagine I am throwing something, goes and falls in India. And that's how the satellite missiles are sent. Then some more force, it will go to Australia. It will cross India, go to Bay of Bengal. Kanyakumari will cross, go to Bay of Bengal. From there, some more force if I throw, will go to Australia. Some more force if I throw, will go to Antarctica. South Pole, right? Some more force if I throw, will go out of Earth. You understood? Don't think satellites are being sent like this. Because if I had to throw something here, do you think I will stand here and throw like this? Not possible. If I want to throw something here, normally I will stay somewhere far and then throw it, right? That's called a trajectory motion. In physics you will learn trajectory motion, right? Why? Trajectory motion, projectile is much more easier than pushing it up. Got it? So what do? I throw in such a fashion when it goes out of Earth, it crosses 145 kilometers. Therefore, it will be out of atmosphere. Once it goes out of atmosphere, nobody has to control it. It goes around the Earth. Only this much we know about the space department. About space. After reaching there, there is a camera which takes picture. That's eye. And there is an INSAT satellite. In Arabia, it is ArabSat. What is the, when you say hello, I say namaste. Right? When you say namaste on the phone from the local service provider, whatever sat. Again, what is that? Yeah. What does it do? It goes to satellite. From there, they will throw to India, and there is a receiver. Correct? So you are speaking. Who is hearing it? Satellite. Which satellite is that? First ArabSat. But ArabSat cannot reach India. Therefore, in between there is another antenna. ArabSat will take information here. From there, it will send it to INSAT. From there, it goes to India. It goes like this. Got it? Traditionally, earlier it was like that. Now it is all fiber cable. But satellite, one of the applications is that. And how much it will cover? It will cover 6,000 kilometers. So that it covers India and little more space. So when INSAT was not working, we have rented out ArabSat. When ArabSat has got some problem, we will rent out Indian sat to them, INSAT to them. So it's an international cooperation between different satellite systems. So this is how the informations are passed. Got it? So these informations, when we learn and teach, don't think that we know everything about space. But we know a little bit about space because we have to keep them there. So one boy came and then told he wanted to learn about space. And this is all. I said, no sir, this is not space. I want to know about different stars. I said, I am not the department. You came to eat chicken biryani in a vegetarian hotel. Go to non-veg hotel. Go to the other department. Which is the department? And I had few friends, I referred him there. And they called me and said, this boy is great, sir. He knows much more than what we know. I said, possible, because we were old students. They are all young children. They know much more than what we know. But then I encouraged him to learn. He was an astronomy club member in Hyderabad. 9th class boy. And he is from one of the poorest family in Nellore district, not in Hyderabad city, in a different district. Where once flood comes, the whole area is under flood. There is a rail which runs from Vijayawada to Chennai and Kerala bound. When the heavy rain comes and the heavy wind comes, the rail itself will be lifted and then put 6 kilometers away. Many times it happened. Because it's all paddy field. Once something, the wind comes, nobody can stop. In such place is his house. And only vacation time he used to come, where I used to teach in Ramakrishna Mutt, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, and one of the class he was a member, and he never left me from that. Those days, once in a while he keeps calling me. But then I encouraged him. I told him, don't worry about the space department because you are too young, you don't understand this. But then he had a great passion. He is the man who taught me whatever I said yesterday, the moon hops. He collected a lot of CDs. Those times this Google map and all was not there. www was not there. Okay, only Wikipedia was not there. Only we had Chaipedia. So no information was available with me, but he had all this information. So therefore, where do I study? I study from my children. I'm telling I don't have knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge with my children, and they are my children. Therefore, I get some knowledge. Then I told him, you come after 11th. We will decide what you should do. Because 9th class is not the time to decide what you will do in your life. You are too not mature. Though he was more mature than me, I told him you are not mature. Because sometimes that's the problem. Young children will decide I want to become this. I said, go up to 12th grade, but study maths, physics, chemistry so that you can divert in any direction anytime. Once you divert to commerce, finished. You become comma. You cannot get into full stop. Right? Once you get into humanities, finished. You cannot study maths and physics. Because I studied maths and physics and chemistry, I would have studied biology, which I lost. But then I relearned all that later. Not everybody can do that. Therefore, geography becomes simple, history becomes simple because I have maths and physics with me. So I believe that science is the most, and which is more logical than most of the, history is not logical. You are only learning. So your logics become better. So civil service exam and all that, 67% of the people are with science background today. Because more logical. Right? It doesn't mean the arts people are not good and not good, no? That doesn't mean that. So what I do, I asked this boy, his name is Charan, and then I told Charan, you come after 11. Yes, after 3.5 years he came back and then said, with a bigger bundle of information and file, I know everything out space now. So what should I study? I said, try in IIT and try NIT, the best engineering colleges. And he wrote entrance exam in none of the best engineering colleges, he got admission. Not in the best colleges, normal colleges in Hyderabad also. His admission was in a third-rate engineering college. And he joined, there is no astronomy department there is no space there. He joined in mechanical engineering. You see the situation of a bright student who want to be great but nothing. He wrote many exams, none of the entrance exam. So he is not a good student, right? He got into a normal engineering college. And being in a normal engineering college, he called me once, sir, you should come and give guest lecture there. And that college, no people used to go, not even guests, normal people don't go, then there is guests going. But then he made a students group and then called me once and then gave a lecture. I understood it's not a standard college, but he was a student there, but he used to come and he's from a very poor family. He used to drive motorbike, somebody's friend's motorbike he will take. I used to put the petrol money in his pocket and say, go. He comes in the morning, Saturday and Sunday, he eats in my house, will take rest, will teach a lot of things. I had such lot of children are there, and one of the children is this. A lot of stories about the great children. Why I am saying this, there is a reason. You will know that later. Later when he did BTech, I put him into National Aeronautical Laboratory for a project. National Aeronautical Laboratory is the place where they fly aircraft and all that. They repair aircraft. There he did a project. The project was the controlling of the aircrafts. He made a gadget there. And NAL said, don't leave after 6 months of project, continue here for more years. It's not a job, it's like a project because it's a government office. Nobody can be appointed. But he got some project and he continued for some more time. Later he wanted to learn something great in his life, which was his own dream, which I didn't know what was his dream. But he kept on telling me, he gave me some YouTube presentations and this is what you should look at. Is it good? I used to say good. Without even looking at it, I will say good. Because he has become so mature, I don't have to tell what he has to do. He knows what is required. And he went to Chennai to learn German language because he wanted to go to Germany. Mechanical engineering, one of the best places, German. And 70,000 rupees for him was a great amount. Somehow his uncle or somebody helped him. He went to Chennai, learned German language. That time I was in Delhi. So one day he called me, sir, this is my last call in my life. I am going to die. My house is sinking in water. I am in second floor. I have nobody else in my life to call. You are the only one whom I want. You can imagine a student calling like this. I had only tears in my eyes. What do you do? The whole village is sinking. All houses are ground floor. And there is only one house where it's a first floor fellow and he jumped on top. I kept on saying him, don't worry. There is a saying, when somebody, God decides you have a future, He will send some vehicle for you to escape. It so happened he lost everything in his life except his life, and he could save himself. And that's how his life. I'm sure most of you are so lucky you don't have problems in life. I'm saying he didn't have money even to drive vehicle to come and then meet me. He used to come. He did have 70,000 rupees German language to learn. And but he couldn't get admission in any of the German universities because his German language standard was too bad. His college was blacklisted, not at all good. And he became so upset he couldn't never learn anything on space in a standard university abroad, which was his desire. But later he decided he will change his field. He studied computer science. Because computer science is one which has got different colleges and people teach computer science in English language. German language he is unfit. And he wanted to go to Germany and stay there. For what? 2 years he will do a master's in computer science, so that 2 years staying in Germany he will learn German language so that he can join the course what he want to join. You see the determination of a student. Why did he join the computer science? So that 2 years he can stay in Germany so that he can learn German language, then he can jump into the university where he wants, right? He joined, finished his computer science, told bye-bye to computer science, took only Germany out of that course, rejoined for, what is the department called? Smart Bird department, which makes smart birds. You know what smart bird? You create a bird in such a fashion, okay, and that bird will go and fly along with the normal living birds, and the living normal bird will not know whether this is an artificial bird or an original bird. When that makes sound, this bird also will make similar sound, so that the other birds will think this is also one company, and it will become a leader there, and it can flow in whatever direction the manufacturer wants the bird to fly, and when that flies, all the other birds also will fly. You understand what I'm saying? And that project is called Smart Birds. You can go and Google YouTube. You will know the company's name who manufactures this. It's all research. A lot of science behind that. So he used to send me all the details. Now he is doing PhD in that subject in Germany. After 4 years, last month, 2 months back, he came and then he called me. Sir, I'm here back. Now I'm doing research in this field. This is called a passion. What is it called? Passion. You have a lot of trouble in life. Don't worry what's happening, what's not happening. You will find your methods and ways to do whatever you want in your life if you have passion towards it. And that's what you should. Got it? So don't tell that when I used to teach in some place and they say you have to read Hindu newspaper. For example, I am from a village where a lot of children will come. Unfortunately, I am not able to give a Hindu newspaper in my village because nobody reads English newspaper in my village. You understand? There is only Malayalam newspaper. So when students come, I have to give an exercise of Hindu newspaper. I used to collect it from Kannur district headquarters, or maybe I will collect the old newspaper and distribute. I am from a village where newspaper is not available, English newspaper. And I cannot put it onto my computer and show it because internet doesn't work there. It's a small village, nothing is there. So it's not lavishness in life which creates knowledge. What creates knowledge? Passion for learning. And all of you should have this passion for learning to become successful in life. I am sure one day Charan will become very famous in the world. Right? I got a lot of children like that who passed into IAS. I remember I went to Anandapur and gave a lecture. One boy, there were 300 engineering college students, and one boy said, "Sir, I want to hug you. You changed my life. Now I am using a khaki uniform for driving auto after my class. I am an auto driver. I am doing BTech parallel. But after 4 years, I will come and salute you as a police inspector with an IPS in a khaki uniform, sir." And he came after 4 years. He became IPS. He told, "This is the spark which I took from your class." He never heard the word IPS in his life. The first time he heard. There was an engineering college where none of the students got job. They produced a lot of engineers. I went there and stayed 3 days. 64 of them got job in a week's time. We changed them. It's a trick. What I'm saying is answering, writing, examination, competing. You are good, but you don't know how to present it. It needs only little training. So you have to be very, very, very pushy in life. If you want to sustain with a lot of merit, what you should have? A push. And nobody will push you. Maybe as young children, your parents would have told, I will give you chocolate, sing a song. Good. But as you grow higher, your parents will tell you, I will give you a cycle, please get first rank. But I tell you, if a 11th grade child, the father says, I will give you a cycle, you get first rank, is a poda. Then what do you have to tell? I'll give you a motorbike. If it is, I don't know, here it's not possible, right? What should you want? What's the prize which you want when you want to do extremely well in your life? Can somebody say, you get first rank at 12th level? Please get first rank, I'll give you ice cream. You understood? No external things can influence you. What should come? You yourself must feel. That's all good when you are a small child. Beyond a point, who is the person who can influence you? Itself. Yourself. And whom should you look? You should look at great people. That is why you have a subject called humanities. You know Mahatma Gandhi? Yes. You know Nehru? You know Vishwesvaraya? All those people, most of the people you know because you have heard them in your English textbook. Not in science, maths, physics, chemistry, right? Why do you learn this history of different people? So that it motivates you to become that. So read great people. The history of great fellows in this world. Watch movies. There are wonderful documentaries available. Don't see any other TV programs which makes people to cry. No? There are a lot of regional programs in which all the parents will see. They are so happy because somebody is crying. I am not that unhappy, no? Don't look at all that wasteful things. You can invest time in front of TV. Watch. I keep saying, my children, you must keep watching. You must keep sitting in front of TV. Then improvise yourself to learn from TV. How much time? You can sit there hours together. 3 hours every day TV. But after every half an hour, you must be able to write 2 paragraphs. What did you see in that? What did you learn from that? Assume your Hindi is not good. What is to be done? Yesterday did I show you that small 2 children? Yes. That's from YouTube. Or it must have come in some television. Why do I see that? When I see a small child can tell that many number of countries and capitals, I feel ashamed of myself, right? I don't know whether you have shame in your life. Always shame. That's it. So what do I do? Why do I see that? Oh, I feel I should also learn. That's a self-motivation. Fine? Now assume I wanted to, I want to be a good singer. There are a lot of singers. No expressions, right? You see? So boring sometimes. I don't know how many of you have seen this person. It's like Scarlett must see this. See his face, expression. Bhagavan will come to him when he called like this. Bhagavan. Will any Bhagavan will come? You understood? Oh. from Kerala, stupid. If you look at such people for 3 days, I'm sure you will change your pattern of appreciation in art form. Correct?
Distinguished delegates to the world's Parliament of Religions,
all of you should write down how many points you got.
Session of the opening day today.
Do you know Vivekananda when he was called in the morning to speak? What is did? His sequence of talk in the International Religion Conference was number 6. And he saw everybody wrote a lot of pages and they were all referring and reading, international professors with a lot of beard, and this Vivekananda did not bring anything in his hand. He was going like this offhand. Then his name was put 6th, he went and told the organizer, I am tensed. Because that was his first stage. He said, I am tensed, don't call me now, I will do later. Later in the evening again his number came, he said, no, I can't speak now, let me speak at the last. He was tensed. So if you are not having confidence tensed, look at Vivekananda. But then he spoke. Next day's newspaper carried only one person's name, and that was Vivekananda. Right?
Swami Vivekananda from India, and request him to address us. Swami Vivekananda.
Sisters and brothers of America.
First time in the world somebody called the brothers and sisters.
It fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of religions. And I thank you in the name of the millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. My thanks also to some of the speakers on this platform who, referring to the delegates from the Orient, have told you that these men from far-off nations may well claim the honor of bearing to different lands the idea of toleration. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all religions and all nations of the earth. I am proud to tell you that we have gathered in our bosom the purest remnant of the Israelites who came to southern India and took refuge with us in the very year in which their holy temple was shattered to pieces by Roman tyranny. I am proud to belong to the religion which has sheltered and is still fostering the remnant of the grand Zoroastrian nation. I will quote to you, brethren, a few lines from a hymn which I remember to have repeated from my earliest boyhood, which is every day repeated by millions of human beings. As the different streams, having their sources in different places, all mingle their water in the sea, so, O Lord, the different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they appear, crooked or straight, all lead to Thee. The present convention, which is one of the most august assemblies ever held, is in itself a vindication, a declaration to the world of the wonderful doctrine preached in the Gita. Whosoever comes to me, through whatsoever form, I reach him. All men are struggling through paths which in the end lead to me. Sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant, fanaticism, have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often and often with human blood, destroyed civilization, and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. But their time is come. And I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecutions with the sword or with the pen, and of all uncharitable feelings between persons wending their way to the same goal.
It's only 3.5 minutes, but it looks so long and difficult and trouble. Big English for you, right? Yes. Correct or not? Assume a speaker comes and speaks like this and you happen to be a paper news reporter. And tomorrow you have to report it in newspaper. What do you report? I've seen you have difficulty in understanding. And you are all studied in English medium. But you understood that English is not good enough to follow a speaker's language. You are not able to conceptualize the whole idea. If somebody asks you to briefly write some few sentences about it, you will have difficulty. Nothing wrong. At your age, I would not have even understood one sentence from that. But what I did, if you don't understand, what do? Listen it 1,000 times. You understood? Keep on listening such English. I'm sure after a few years you will give such fabulous lectures. Your English, the way you speak, the pose in which you talk, the vocabulary which you use, the confidence level in which you speak comes to you with practice. Vivekananda has a deep knowledge about India. You know what? Mahatma Gandhi, Tagore, Vivekananda, all these people lived in the same time. Contemporaries. And the youngest person who died in the young age was Vivekananda. Tagore was a very senior person from his own state. And Tagore told, there is only one person in the world, or in India, who knows what India is. If you want to know India, look at Vivekananda. I am so glad, recently I went to Calcutta to give a lecture. Somebody said, if you want to know Vivekananda, look at DrTPS. I have studied him thoroughly because he is a man who inspired me to learn a lot of things in life. He is a person who physically strong. I have a book on his 150th birthday. I have got a lot of children who are aspirants of civil service in India, and all of them I asked them to write vision, mission, action if you become an IAS. If you become an administrator, what is your vision? What is the mission? And what is the action you do? 300 points. I collected a lot of essays and then published a book called Raising of India by the Rays of India. Who are the rays? My children, who contributed article in that. Raising of India, who has to do that? You have to do this. Raising of India by the Rays of India is the book name. On the release day, and we had a talk, extempore speech on this to present among the children in Hyderabad. 23 of them attended. And I said, you will get a certificate of merit only if you come on top of that mountain. That was in Bongir. There is a big mountain there. I told them, come 2 o'clock, collect your certificate. I will be there by that time. I started running. You know why? Vivekananda said, you should have strong muscles. You understood? Have you ever got certificates like that? On the top of the mountain, I will give you a certificate if you reach there by 2 o'clock. Otherwise, you will not get certificate. It's a merit certificate. Intelligence is not good enough. What you should have? A strong physical and emotional balance. And then, intellectual sharpness. Vivekananda was a person, when he was sick, somebody presented a big book. And he just opened it up and then said, you can ask me anything, I'll answer all this. Because when you read a lot of textbooks, you know, any other book becomes very simple for you. I never learned biotechnology or biology in my life, but I taught a lot of biotechnology teachers. I never learned in my life. If you know basics of different subjects, you can teach most of the subjects. It doesn't matter. Because every knowledge is constructed from the blocks. Vivekananda was such a great person. He had a lot of presence of mind. He could understand many things. He can speak. He can learn. You must watch the documentary on Vivekananda. Don't miss watching documentaries on. You write down greatest personalities, names whom you know from India, right? And look at their documentaries and listen once. At least your English will improve. Your knowledge about those people will improve. Knowledge about the country will improve. Knowledge about the history will improve. Okay, that's what is required. You must do this every now and then. At least invest half an hour, 1 hour. That's good. And how you should answer things? You should answer things like the modern Kautilya. There is a modern Kautilya who is also called the Google boy of India.
बहुत स्वागत कीजिए कौटिल्य का सभी लोग एक बार फिर भारत
7.5 years boy.
सिर्फ 5.5 साल का कौटिल्य पंडित करनाल के रहने वाले हैं और आपके सवाल खत्म हो जाएंगे
He's from Rajasthan.
इनके ना सवाल खत्म होते हैं और ना जवाब खत्म होते हैं और
Do you
सब
understand Hindi?
उसका जवाब ढूंढना
न जवाब खत्म होते ना।
कर रहे हैं हमारे सवालों का तो कोई जवाब ऐसा नहीं है जो इन्होंने ना दिया हो अच्छा ठीक है अब और सवाल पूछना हम मेरे साथ आ जाओ तो
Any question you can. You see the answer. सवाल पूछेगा? हाँ. That's how he answers.
वो जैसे ये अच्छा इधर से शुरू कर देते हैं ये वाले भैया पूछेंगे सवाल
जापान की राजधानी क्या है? टोक्यो।
इतना आसान सवाल पूछ लिया तुमने कौटिल्य से
So simple question you are asking. Ask a difficult question.
युगांडा किस महाद्वीप में स्थित है? अफ्रीका।
इटली के पश्चिम में कौन सा सागर है
क्या?
क्या इटली के पश्चिम में कौन सा सागर है इटली के पास कोई सागर है
हाँ।
कौन सा
You ask him names of rivers in Kerala, he will tell you.
छोटी कंट्री कौन सी है
Only geography.
दुनिया की
The
सबसे
subject is geography.
जल्दी 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 जल्दी
जमाइका कहाँ स्थित है? जमाइका। जमाइका। जमाइका एशिया में
वेरी गुड बता दिया कौटिल्य आपने बताया कि सबसे छोटा देश वेटिकन सिटी है तो उसका एरिया कितना है
110 किलोमीटर।
110 एकड़ मेरी जनसंख्या कितने % तेजी से बढ़ रही है विश्व की
विश्व की बहुत तेज।
बाघा बॉर्डर के आसपास की सीमाएं बाघा बॉर्डर के आसपास की सीमाएं
बागा?
बाघा बॉर्डर के आसपास की सीमाएं
दिल्ली में है बागा बॉर्डर।
That's the wrong answer. Wagah is not in Delhi. It's between Pakistan and Amritsar, north west of. But if you say from Rajasthan, it is close to Delhi. You have to cross Delhi.
वेनेजुएला के 2 पड़ोसी देशों में वेनेजुएला के 2 पड़ोसी देश बता दो इन्हें
वेनेजुएला के हैं गुयाना और ब्राजील।
वेरी गुड
कारगिल में कौन सी नदी?
And you want to know his background, it is nothing. And now I will give you one more. We have only today and tomorrow is going to be the interaction and your presentation, what you learned. Right? Now, what do I do generally? To know how good you are, you can listen to a lot of documentaries. I'm sure you must be doing this. This is the biotechnology one.
Sunny day,
Technology, biology which you learn.
and a complex biological story. The Human Genome Project is a way of exploring our molecular cells. Almost all of our cells, the muscle cells that let us smile, the brain cells that perceive the humor in things, the cells of our eyes that take it all in, contain a complete set of all our genes, the genome. If we could
Yesterday, who was the person who said all the names of vegetables after shuffling? I said I will gift you some book, right? listen such lot of programs.
Inside ourselves.
Very
It was
simple.
so. We would
What?
see 23.
Listening, this is very simple. Now I will give you one task. You know what? You are seeing this, and if one of you can come on to stage after seeing once, I will play it like this, or you can see this. I will not have sound, but you have to give the sound. In between, I will make the sound on, and you have to exactly match with that. You understood? Possible? Have you ever tried this? Try this with the documentaries. Try with this with the subject which you know. You know, if the subject is known to you, you can do it. How do I test children whether you are good in biology? I will play something in their dialogue, biology, that syllabus, and play once, and second time I will not have the sound. I will make the sound a little bit up. At some point where the sound comes, you should exactly match with that, because that means you are seeing it, right? Fine? Somebody want to try? Or you will practice at home? Yeah, that's the safest one, right? I'll tell you, now so far when you were listening, you never had this in mind, right? I'll tell you, all documentaries, when you listen, when you watch a movie, when you see anything, don't become passive listeners. You are all passive listeners. Got it? How do you become an active listener? This method where you have to speak in the same style. Assume I call you and give you this same video, and this I will ask you the way I present it in front of you about the Google Boy, about the earlier singer, about this video. I am showing you and I am speaking, right? How do you learn the way I speak? You become an active listener. And what you should do when I am speaking, oh, sir was showing hand like this, he was talking like this, I also want to become like this. If you have that intention and listen, your attention will become more, your concentration will become more. It's actually like mimicry. Got it? Have you heard Smriti Irani, HR Minister? There was lot of hangama against she becoming the HR Minister of India. You know who is HR Minister? Who controls the whole education in India. And lot of people said she is uneducated. But I'll tell you, if you get a chance, look at her speeches in the parliament and outside. If there are 13 people in the discussion in a TV program, there will be debates, right? Where she is a speaker and she will say, I'll speak last. And what she does, Mr. Verma told this, and never, no point writing nothing. And she will offhand, she will say, Verma spoke this point and this I don't agree, at this point I don't agree, at this point I agree, and this is the reason which I don't agree, this is the reason. All these 13 people who spoke in between, she will have at least some comments in the same sentence she will repeat. What a great memory. You know why? She was an actress. So what she has to do? She has to by heart all the dialogue. And that's her daily routine. You understood what I'm saying? What a great speaker, yeah? I used to carry, I don't know whether I have it here. I'm not spending much time on this. Because each of these which I am covering now is a great knowledge which you should have, where a lot of things you should learn and then practice yourself. I'm skipping all that. I keep a lot of such small bits because that's what I want you to listen. No. I want you to watch. No. I want you to learn. So now onwards, don't watch television. Don't see movie. Learn movie. There are a lot of things. When you see God Must Be Crazy, a movie is there, which is generally a show. But immediately I will ask, which desert that was shot at? And the whole movie is in a desert and it's in a continent, in a country, correct? And after the movie, if you ask you that question, if you don't answer, There is only one small thing which you can do in your life. You love you, hold your hands like this, take it little away, and then love fast. Nobody should punish you. As nobody should give you gift to make you good, motivate you to give some chocolates and all that, nobody should also punish you. You have to punish yourself. Because the whole movie is a waste if you don't understand the geography of the area. Understood? So when you go for a movie, which is the plot, where is it happening, that you should have. That's your ability. Fine? You must have learned. You must have learned Hindi. But if you want to learn speaking Hindi, this is a history channel. Which century? Who? You understood? If I was not telling you how to listen this, you will also passive listen. I'm sure you will not catch this point. You must have wasted a lot of time in your life. Don't waste time in front of TV. Invest your time. Okay? Ready? What he did? Who was a teacher and who got one small boy playing drama on the street.
हिमालय से लेकर समुद्र पर्यंत सहस्त्रों योजन विस्तीर्ण भारत भूमि की रक्षा का है। यदि जनपदों के स्वामी होने के गर्व में भिन्न भिन्न जनपदों के शासक चुन रहे तो वह दिन दूर नहीं जब विदेशी आक्रांता जनपदों को नष्ट कर अपना प्रभुत्व स्थापित कर लेंगे। अतः भारतवर्ष को एक राष्ट्र के रूप में संगठित होकर
If you look at India as small pieces of land which are ruled by small states, it's like looking at hand is one part, another hand is another part, the spare part of your body are different part. Don't. Nobody looks at the spare part of the body as different. You only look at the whole body as one. Therefore, India is one body. And when somebody beats your head, don't you lift your hand? You see what a great knowledge, no? And that's how he talked to all the kings. When somebody beats your head, don't you lift your hand and then oppose him? Therefore, every other country has to support. Got it? That's how he motivated a lot of kings. And then, whichever is a powerful king, what he does? He will go and say, please help me, we want to save India. And when he goes to the smaller, if you don't help, that will be end of yours. Got it? This is ability which somebody should have. Wherever you have to show weight, you should show weight. Wherever you shouldn't show weight, don't show weight. A lot of things to learn from. And he picked up one small boy who was acting like a king. He said, you want really to become a king? Come along. And then he was taken care of by his uncle. Those days uncle has to leave the nephew. You have to pay money to the uncle to buy the nephew. Nephews were sold because that's not their children, no? Their sister's child. And then Chanakya had no money. So he said, I don't have any money, I have only one book. Which was that book? Arthashastra. The economics book, the first economic books in the world. Arthashastra was the book. He said, boy, you are my son. I want you. What you can do is, your uncle needs money, right? Take this book and sell it and then pay money to your uncle. You know how much it worth? It's worth the world. It's a great book. but a teacher gifted that book to the child because he knows that a good student is much worthier than his knowledge which is put into book form. These are my motivators. I spoke about Vivekananda, I spoke about Kaudilya. If somebody asks me who is your role model, I should say it's Vivekananda and Chanakya. People who understand the worth of students, who understand the worth of textbook. It's nice that he didn't sell to somebody else. Otherwise, he could have not met his old classmate also. And who is that boy? Yeah, one Samrajya called the Maurya. Samrajya is from him, right? So a teacher can change the world. The biggest example is a teacher can change the world. And a teacher without any weapon collected all the kings and then stopped the greatest warrior of, who was that? Alexander. So who united India? You may learn it is Britishers, but it's not Britishers. Much before than that. Because which? Busy. That's the time when Chanakya did this. Don't you think you have to learn these in your life? And do you think you can learn it after getting married? No. Eh? After getting a job in some company, I will start learning. Now let me finish my syllabus. No, these are all part of your syllabus. I am not told anything new. These are all part of your syllabus in different forms and different places. Got it? If you have not studied, I am sure you are going to study if you want to get a job. That's general knowledge. And if you already studied and forgotten, this is the time to revise. Don't throw your books. Keep learning. The best method to learn is to teach somebody. And if you have young children, whenever you go to somebody's house, there are young children, call them and start teaching. For whom? It's you, for you, not for them. When you teach, you learn automatically, right? This is what you should do. Good enough? Close your eyes. Think about all that what happened today. Yeah, open your eyes. Tell your friend what did you learn today and what difference it makes in you. Okay, good enough. Only 5 people can tell what did you learn today. I want 5 smartest people here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come here onto stage, that's it. Yeah, tell, what did you learn today? What did you learn today?
We learned about Chachu's motivators and his inspirators, Chanakya and Swami Vivekananda. We saw Swami Vivekananda, we listened to Swami Vivekananda's 3-minute speech at the Chicago International Religion Conference. We also learned about how to read newspaper properly and how to learn.
What they will do? They'll kill you. Right?
Then we learned that we have to listen actively and not passively. Then we learned about Alexander and how he united India. And then
Enough. Don't tell. She's the one who has got stage fear. Now you see how she is. Correct? Yes or no? Yeah, go on. Stage fear is gone. Chilla, run. Introduce you.
Good evening everyone, my name is Shalanda. I'm from grade 9 in this school AlAin.
I met her in the same hall, June. Here, you were there for my lecture?
yeah, I was there.
June 9th, 2017. I had a lecture here, right?
Yeah.
That's where we met. Yeah.
That's it.
Then she came to.
So today we learned about two ideal models who we should learn, Reshma and Sharan. That inspired me so much. And then we learned about Chanakya and Alexander. He showed a video, a wonderful video. Then he told us we should watch a documentary.
What happened in the camp? Watch the car?
Yeah, in camp, actually the camp was awesome. Actually there was a girl who really wanted to wash a car. She was like, from the beginning of the camp, she started saying us, we want to wash a car, we want to wash a car.
Because it's not my car, I don't have car. I use my cousin's car, it was so dirty, Probably that must have made her.
And all we girls washed the car under the shower.
Why girls only?
I don't know. Only girls is fine. You said only girls.
He knows the answer. Who is that? Where is the car? KP Umar knows the answer. Why? Why only girls wash the car?
Because we went at that time morning to boat.
Yeah, they went for swimming. And there was a lot of complaint for them. We are not able to go for swimming. I said, don't worry, I'll give you a shower. So we had the temple shower, right? Yeah. We have a shower. The shower is like this hall. For the whole place you will get rain. I made a shower. It's very simple to make shower. You connect the pump, make the pipe, make a lot of holes there, it will become shower. So I made it myself. And you keep the car there and make everybody do. So you are taking bath and washing the car. Enjoy? Good enough? What else? Something is missing? Bottom is missing?
Good evening everyone. My name is Shapriya. I'm studying in grade 11.
When you have shootings in the television, yesterday when we had session here, I had a live program. My program was coming in one of the Kerala channels. Today also it got repeated. Next week also it is there. It's a discussion. So I remember I was taking one student of mine for interviewing me. They wanted a speech. I said, I don't like speech, you can get somebody. Then I got somebody who was interviewing. So that was the first show. So you know what you do? They ask question. It's alright. Yeah, there is a camera, that's why she's asking. I'm going to post it now. This also will post. This will be the thumb. Yeah, she's ready. Let's see.
So what we learned today is that
No, we had a professor who taught me solitary. Solitary? I thought solitary means doing. Then I realized that's why I don't know he does like it. Yeah. Don't ever shake hand with her. No? Yeah, chalo. because this is the only one student who asked me to become, you had sent a message yesterday, asking to be a member of the Ekalavya group. We have a group. I told you about the group, right? The class. Ekalavya is the group where people read newspaper and then put review there. They watch movie, put review there. You read books and put review there. And that's a learners group. You are seeing people posting? Yeah. It's a good group.
Then next week, through the examples of Reshma and Sharat, we came to know that if you are passionate in learning, nothing is impossible for us. We can even achieve the thing which we think is impossible. Then we came to know how Vivekananda and Chanakya was great personalities, and also we need to be an active listener than a passive listener. And whatever we see in our daily lives, we have to learn completely without watching it or seeing it.
Good. Is there anyone who wants to speak now? I said 5 and stop, right? Yeah, come. Good. If you don't come, you are not my student. You also stayed with me, huh? The first batch, 2015, huh? Yes. Yeah. You all came to 16. There was somebody who came in 15. In your batch only, I thrown somebody out? That Kollam fellow?
I don't remember. Good evening to one another. My name is Nemuel Paul. Complicated name, I know that. So today we learned about a newspaper. Actually, I want to share something that maybe most of you know, and he didn't say that. News stands for North, East, West, South. Correct, right?
Once you say, I must agree. Is it?
Then we learned that when we read a newspaper, it improves our vocabulary. It gives us more knowledge about geography and history and about the current affairs. And when you learn things, you have to have the passion for learning, and it will make you more successful in life. Thank you.
I keep saying if you are a very serious student who aspires to keep knowledge permanently with you, create 5 notebooks. Whatever you read from the newspaper, new vocabulary, write it down. You think it may be very simple, but it's not very simple. Right? I have a lot of examples. You are a commerce student. Come here. Prakash. She's a commerce student, BBA, right? Are you my property?
Are you my property?
Are you my property?
Yes. I am your property.
How?
I am your daughter.
What is the definition of property?
Your own. Something that you want.
No, because she knows that I am asking a tricky question, she answered it. Otherwise, generally, what do you say?
No.
No. Right? Assume she doesn't behave properly. Assume she does a mistake which is not acceptable for me. What I will say?
You are not my property.
You are not my student. You are not my daughter. Don't come to me. Don't we say this? What am I doing? I disown you. Your ownership is being, because you are proper, you become my property. And if you become improper, I'll throw you out. So where the word property came from? The word proper, right? Now all of you said one answer. Is there anybody else who want to add something on this? I'm sure not, because you are all blind. Because I took you through commerce. Now I'll ask you one question. How many of you are chemistry students here? All of you are chemistry students. You learned chemistry, right? In your life also you learned chemistry. All of you learned chemistry. Lift your hands if you have learned. Fine. Now, what is property in chemistry? Characteristic. You understood? The salt has got the property of salt. The saltiness is the property, right? This word property, when I said, did you ever thought about this meaning? No, you forgot. You know, that is why I want you to look at dictionary. When you look at dictionary, automatically these things will come to you every now and then. You understood? Not one meaning. In a dictionary, how many meanings will be written? Many. Don't look for one meaning. Look for all the meanings. And when you have this habit of looking for all the meanings, in life, you will get lot of meanings for many of the words. And these are what really makes you a good speaker, good writer. Your vocabulary will become bunch of knowledge will be there. What is court? C-O-U-R-T?
C-O?
U-R-T, court. Court is where judgment happens, right? Finished? Playing court. Is that finished? You have food court. So in a court where the judgment happens, there is one people arguing, another fellow arguing, and the judge decides who is right. In a volleyball court or a football court, there is a referee who says whether this team is right or this team is right. In a food court, there is a foot and there is a tongue, and your stomach will tell who is right. You understood? See, this is how you learn vocabulary. So create a notebook. Now, do you feel that worth creating a notebook? So when I meet you next time, if there is no notebook, I will note. I will disown. So create a notebook of vocabulary. Create a notebook of geography. Fine. Last year I visited Fiji. Fiji is a small island. Fine. Which was volcanic once upon a time. So before going to Fiji, what do? I learned the geography of that area. And the first international airport in Fiji where we have to land is called Nadi. N-A-D-I, Nadi. You can also call it as Nadi or Nadi. Nadi. Nadi in Kannada means mine. Telugu also means Nan, mine. But if you slightly modify it, it looks like Nandi. Nandi means bullock. Yes. As I got down, I saw a big bullock there. And there is a temple, Shiva temple. Right? And the place where the conference, I went for a Ramayana conference. The Ramayana conference was happening at Suva. Suva looks like Shiva. I wrote a poetry on that. How do I remember the place, names and all this? Because I wrote a poetry on that. Yesterday I said, no? Fiji color dress. Otherwise, after some time you will forget. So what is my documentation method? I write poetry. When I went to Scotland, England, what did I do? I wrote a poetry there. And the poetry becomes a beautiful description of travelogue. The whole thing I remember. Anytime I can read it. I had an accident, met with an accident. Many people would have died there. I died many times. This is my 5th life. Lot of accidents happen sometimes. I lost my father, sister in an accident. Then I had an accident in which auto rickshaw driver died. Nothing happened to me. I was saying, why nothing has happened to me? Is it a dream? The auto took 3 rounds. Dim. I was still on the seat. I was seeing. I know. I have seen death like that many times. It's a nice experience. Don't try. So last time July, we had a family meet. 300 people, family members were coming. I went to pick up somebody. While driving back, dim. Great accident. Immediately I saw my brother was sitting there. Yeah, he is perfect. He did not die. Fine, happy. So 2 people are back. They are also alive. And then happy. Anything happened to vehicle? No problem. I said, you are able to move? Yes. You are conscious? Yeah, fine. I am perfect. All right. I was driving. And that was not my vehicle, my brother's vehicle. Yeah, generally what brother will do say, you are not a good driver, right? That's all. You know what my brother said? You are great. it would have been much more a disastrous accident. I said, don't tell. There is a family meeting. Don't tell anybody that it has happened, because that will become the whole story. Discussion will be only my driving and accident. So I said, forget about all this. Evening only I will tell. At the end, when we say that we had an accident, and they ask a vehicle, I said, that's the parked. Where the accident happened, we have parked there. So we are not able to take the vehicle back. And then what did I do? Evening I wrote a nice poetry and posted on Facebook and to my family group on WhatsApp. Then they said, what happened? Yeah, there was an accident in the morning. And why you did not tell? I told now, no. As an it's nice to write a poetry, right? Now you know when I drive through that road, when I take my students for a drive, I do card dancing. Yeah? We have 4 wheels, right? When I drive in the road, zigzag road, in the hilly road, only 3 wheel will be there. The rest one will stand dancing. That accident was not because of that. That was a normal drive. So when I drive there, I will tell my students, yeah, this is the place where I had accident. If there was no accident, I cannot write a poetry, no? If there is no accident, I cannot tell the story, no? There is no accident, I cannot make this joke here, no? There is a cinema actor, you know, Innocent? Yeah. We are from the same place. I am from Iriganakuda. I stay in Iriganakuda, that's my wife's place. Iriganakuda, same street only, Innocent. So most of the programs in Iriganakuda side, I will be there and he will also be there. So once he was giving a nice joke. He was acting in a movie. He was driving cycle and some jeep was supposed to come and hit him and he was to fall. And the jeep really hit. He fell down. A joke or serious now? Eh? Serious, yeah, it happened. No, don't laugh. So serious, he got severely injured. Took him to hospital. Natural, no? And doctor told there is a bone which gone inside. Like all of you in the audience, when he said, I am only not making that dramatic because I am not a great actor like him, right? Everybody said, then you know immediately what he told the doctor? Lucky that it did not go outside, no, it went inside. You can take it out. Now all of you laughed, right? When he said all of you, all of them also laughed. See, I am saying don't take anything very serious in life. There are a lot of problems which comes in life. You know, there are some people, severe back pain, oh, I am not able to move, my headache, my stomach is aching, my head is aching, my hand is aching. Right? The other day, somebody said, we have a house in which generally the head will hit and immediately the blood came out. Sir, blood is coming. I said, when you hit, blood only will come. You said, liquor will come. Full of blood only. I said, don't worry, yeah, nothing will happen. If these two kids put together, what will be the size? I had a participant, 9th grade student from Saudi Arabia. You know, Saudi Arabia generally is fat, right? And that time we were only constructing house and then there was something happening and the grill was there. And when and she was trying to dry the clothes, she went and stamped on a grill piece where the 3 grill pieces came through her leg and then also face. And she cried, oh! Wonderful. Otherwise she don't speak. I tried all my best to make her to shout. I generally say speak louder. Never. This is the first time. I was sitting in my normal seat in the ground floor. I ran. I saw her. Otherwise she don't dance. She is dancing nicely. What did I do? Put a stamp there. Lift her up, right? 85 kilogram or 90. I'm only 60. What happened? Lifted her like this. Immediately. I was on the ground. And I have to put her back on the ground, right? But then this grill which I took was there. If I put her on the ground, it would have been here. So I called somebody, remove it because I had to put her back. Her mother happened to be a nurse in Saudi Arabia. I said, let us inform her. Don't tell. My grandfather will come and then pick me up and I will lose the rest of the camp. It's only 3 days. We have 4 more days to go. I don't want to go. I said, inform, not worry. I said, there are 2 options. Inform and pick you up. Otherwise, I will take care. Tetanus injection, don't worry. Yeah. In Naduvil, nothing is there. No rest. Everything is perfect. Medicine, don't worry. Nothing is required. Nothing is required. I used to have, when I was cutting something, there was a knife which gone from here and came out. I have seen a lot of that. Don't worry, yeah. What do a doctor do? Doctor stitches it. Doctor stitches it. Doctor stitches it. What for? To keep it closer, that's it. Internal stitching who does? Your body does. Any cut, after a day, if you look at it, you will have a gum there. And you love sometimes to touch it because there is a gum there, right? Yes or no? Any cut, this cut happened to me, what did I do? Hold it close. After 2 hours, I opened and so nothing is there. Very simple. You can see a small scratch here, scar here, that's it. There are a lot of cuts. Only doctors put them together. And you get a lot of pain. You know what is pain? Pain is the message given to the cells at that point to work for you. If there is no pain, it will not get cured. There are leprosy patients. If their leg is cut, they have no pain. Therefore, it will never get cured. So pain is good or bad? So when you get pain, you must thank your body. Thank you. I got pain. Today that girl, she said her leg is broken. I said, very good, congratulations. You know why? If leg is not broken, your head will break, which is good. Automatically when you fall, you know, first thing which goes is hand. But assume you are doing this and then walking. The other day I went to one of the places in Kottayam. A student, the chin was cut. And he had a helmet, have a buckle, no? Like that buckle was put there. Then I asked him, what happened? Sir, I have fallen. I said, very good. You had mobile in your hand? Sir, how do you know? Only when you have mobile in your hand, when you fall, you will have a chin problem. You understood what I'm saying? If you don't have mobile, definitely the chin will not hit. Before hitting, your hand will hit. Because you have mobile, what you did? You have to save the mobile. So what went and hit? Mobile is costly, right? This can be repaired. This cannot be repaired. iPhone, how much? How much? Dirhams. Your dirhams, but ours is not dirhams. We don't have dirham there. We have money. Okay. So when you want to be active in life, there are a lot of things to learn. Which you think is a very difficult problem is not a difficult problem. You think something is a big problem. No. Things are not difficult. Things are not bad. Anything which you get in your life is good. Take it positive. There may be big problems in your life. This person is not commenting me, this person is commenting me. All that can be problem. Correct? You had a nice dress. What do you do? Eh? She is thinking I am talking about her, not you. One of your uncle or somebody gifted you an old cloth. And you thought it is one of the best dress which you have. You went and told Amma that how does it look? And then Amma says, I am cooking, go, don't disturb me. Unhappy. Then what do? Go to your father and then show, how are you looking? He said, I am watching TV, don't disturb. Then you go to your brother or sister, how is it? No, it doesn't look better. My dress is better than yours. Fine? Then what do? To get into school bus for travel. And the school You have got a person who looks after you there, right? He says, who is the best person in the world? The driver. Uncle, I love you so much. My mother, no, stupid lady. She don't appreciate. My father, wretched fellow. My brother, what cruel he is. But uncle, I love you, dumb. Finished. Correct or not? Does it not happen? See, most of you are momentarily living. You don't understand what life is. Don't take momentary feelings in life. You have to be very serious. If somebody tells you it's very good, that doesn't mean that they really love you. There is something which life is not just today. I told you must live today and then enjoy. But you must be very careful, very serious, creating your life in the normal profile. You must create a great profile in life. Stabilized, matured. If you look at, there is a small video, YouTube video, in which I say illness and disease. Difference between illness and disease. What is illness? The problem for your body is illness. The feeling of the problem is disease. You understood the difference? Rogam. Headache is a illness. Feeling headache is a disease. I may have headache, but if I don't feel, it's not a disease. Fine? There are people, they have a lot of problems. Assume your mother has got a back problem, backache. Do you think all the time she sleeps and says, I cannot do any job? Let the mother be immovable with a lot of pain. If her child is falling, definitely she will run and pick. That time do they say that, no, you fall, I don't care, my back is aching. Do they do that? Why? Because they are not diseased, they have illness. There is a story, one old man was in a hospital. Generally old man will be hospital, right? I don't know when I'll go to hospital. And you know, one of the best models in Kerala, the motorbike, it's called the Yamaha. Fine? But in Bharatiya tradition, Yama is the person who takes somebody and the vehicle name itself is Yamaha. I don't know what crazy fellow has named it as Yamaha. So a young fellow who was driving Yamaha met with an accident, and half of his body was looking white after that with a lot of bandage. Here and there a lot of metal pieces kept for setting it right. He became totally immovable. He can only see up, ceiling, that's it. So he was ceiling. It's all kept like this. Fine, neck cannot move. Straight, that's the only time he had straight. In a hospital room, there are two beds. In one bed, this old man. The next bed, this young fellow. He was really sick, and this man is manufactured sick. And there is a small wind coming from the side. So this boy is getting a wind from there. Who is that? The old man said, I am here. So he understood this is an old man. The wind is coming. So when the wind is coming, can't you open this window a little more so that I will get some more wind? Yeah, he opened the window. He couldn't hear the sound of the opening also. The wind is coming. He thought that open window is open. Then there was some nice drum beat. He asked the old man, what's happening there? The old man said, there is a marriage procession going there. How is that girl? Short color dress. You know, at this stage also his mind is very active, right? They all explained all this. He was enjoying. The old man was describing the whole story. He added some more masala. Let him be happy, no? Anyway. At night they slept. This man could not sleep. He kept on asking something and there was no reply. Because he has full pain, no? They will not be able to sleep. After sleeping pills also he woke up in between. Nurses came and then gave injection. And then between whenever he woke up he started asking something, nothing, no sound there. Next day morning when the nurse came, this boy asked, still that man is sleeping? No, he is permanently slept yesterday, right? Dead and gone. Fine. After 2 days this man's head was able to move, this boy. The nurse came. The young man said, why can't you move my bed to the other side close to the window so that I can see through the window? You know what the nurse said? Boy, there is no window there. Then how could this old man could say what is happening there? One, even if he could have there is a window, he will not be able to explain things because he was totally blind. Is it a story or a dream? Ask this nurse. No, it is not a story or a dream. That man was a very wise man. You know, before death, he was totally blind. He could have told, stupid fellow, keep quiet, I am suffering. I am going to die. What he did? Last moment also he made somebody happy, right? At least for a moment. What do we do? When we get small problems, we exaggerate and say we are in a big problem, right? Everybody keeps saying, I am in a big problem. I failed in maths, big problem. Is maths is your life? There is a great scholar who was traveling in a boat. The boatman was riding him. The scholar was very proud of his knowledge. He asked, do you know Sanskrit? Then the boat rowing man said, no, I don't know. 1/4 of your life is waste. Do you know English? No. Half of your life is waste. So many such questions. 90% is waste as far as this man is concerned. Then the boat driver asked one question. Do you know swimming? He said no. Then our whole life is waste because it's going to sink. So what is required in life? To survive. Correct? There may be thousands of problems in you. There is a small girl who got beaten up in one of the schools or maybe scolded by teacher. What she did? Went to 7th floor, jumped and died. Beautiful. You heard? You didn't see? 1 month back, the whole TV was enjoying. Everyday discussions. Who? Advocate Jaishankar says his job itself is this. Discussion only his life. He's a paid discussion man. I'll tell about his story later. I had a discussion with him. He's from her place, Babu. Kolap. You know, there was only one school girl in uniform who came on discussion. I don't have television in Naduvil, I don't have television in Iringarakuda. I have only television in Hyderabad where I don't generally watch because it's not my habit. But where I go and stay sometimes the TV is on, I watch. One day I saw one nice discussion in which one school girl was there. She said, by scolding, by beating by a teacher, if somebody has to die, I think it is better she die earlier then. Instead of guts, yeah. Why do you worry? You know why? Because she must have got scolding from teachers. She must have went and told at home. The parents must have told, no, don't tell me problems. You always create problem, no? I don't want to come to your teacher and discuss. Go. What else you will do? You need somebody to open up, right? Right or not? If you don't have anybody to open up, it will be some problem. You'll become depression. But all the time you don't get anybody. And who is that where you can tell problems? You know, 67% or 69% of Americans are psychologically sick because they don't have anybody to share their problems. I have a friend of mine, Srinivas Rao, whose daughter in grade 1 went and told, Papa, I am not at all happy. You know why? In my class, every student has 2-3 papas. I have only one. That's a culture there. You cannot complain. Parents cannot scold children. They cannot get, you know, if there is a problem, at a case where somebody had a problem and then the parents said, I must talk to them. I said, release them from the hospital. No, there are watches available in America. And that will be given to you by the insurance company. When you insure your life, your health, what you will get? A watch. And what is to be done? Tie the watch. And when your pressure goes up, immediately ambulance will come pick you up and then take you to hospital. Because your health is not your concern, not wife's concern, not family concern, it is insurance company's concern. You understood? And if you say, I don't have pressure, no problem, your meter shows, because this watch will give a signal in his computer saying that his pressure is 160 by 100. What is to be done? You'll have to be taken to hospital, right? In India, we don't have such problems. 67% of Americans are psychologically sick. Only 33 are not, because they are Indians. Why? Because when we have problem, we have father, mother, brother, sister, somebody to discuss. At least you will have some relatives to discuss, or you have some teachers to discuss, or if you don't have anything, oh Bhagavan, I don't know what should I do. And you go and pray sometime. Correct? What for? My classmate Rebecca is always getting 100%, I am getting 90%, for which my mother is scolding, let her become sick from tomorrow onwards. Bhagavan, next time when I come to Guruvayur, I will give you 100 rupees. If I cannot become good, what should I do? Don't. Whenever we are in a problem, there is one formula which you have to use. That formula is no problem. What you should say? No problem. Understand, there is, what is English? I am in a problem. You keep on saying, I am in a problem. You imagine I am in a problem. What does it mean? I am in a problem means problem is bigger, I am inside there. Assume Shashikumar is inside a problem. So what you will see? Problem. You will not see me. You will see only problem. That's what problem happens in some of the houses. Whenever they see them, she see only problem. She's a big problem. Because there is a big problem. You keep saying, I am in a problem, I am in a problem. Parents will see only you, no you. What you will see? The problem only there. So what you should do? Keep your head out and say, I am here. No problem. Go and take a bath, yeah. Clean your problem. Right? And what you should do? Shake well and say, no problem. If at all this English have to be changed, I cannot solve problems. Problems will be still there. But don't say, I am in a problem. Your problem is smaller than you. If you cannot get into a problem, you can consume problem. So now what you should say? Don't say, I am in a problem. Say, problem is in me. What is the change? I am in a problem. Put an arrow mark and say, problem is in me. You understood what I am saying? You have problem not because you are in a problem. The problem is in you. Correct or not? If problem is in you, solution is very simple. Drink water, go to washroom, flush it out. And say, no problem. Fine? If somebody slaps you, no problem. Got it? You understood what I'm saying? If the parents scold you, no problem. You skip your class, go for a movie, parents scold you. No problem. Tell them, tomorrow onwards, I will not go for this movie. I'll go for a different movie. They will tell you, don't do this mistake again. Definitely this mistake I will not do. You tell them, life is to enjoy. And your age is more than 40. Chances of heart attack is more for you. Don't take tension. Got it? Don't take serious. I said sometimes you have to be very serious, watching movie, doing things, learning and everything. But don't make it very serious, for everything is a big problem for you. Got it? When I go anywhere, I do this. Once I was traveling from Iringalakuda to Thrissur, Guruvayur to Iringalakuda. The geography is very good. You have two ways. One is via Thrissur, another one is via Tripura. I am not from that place. My wife is from that place. It was long back, 10-15 years back. Often I visit. I went for a program. While coming back, I took a bus which was going via Tripura, but shortest route is via Thrissur. I got the last seat. I jumped inside without seeing whether it is via. Fine. When the conductor came, I gave money. The person who is sitting beside, sir, you want to go to Iringalakuda? The other bus would have been much cheaper for you. I said, thank you. What for? See, I have a brother here now who was not in the other bus, no? Who is more concerned about my 2 rupees. Did I get a brother like this? For how much? 2 rupees. 2 rupees I got a brother free. Not very costly, no? Who is more concerned about my 2 rupees? If I would have been in Thrissur bus, will I get him? I said, thankful, I have a brother. I think his name is Abu Bakr or something. He is in Tripura. Then we had long discussion. What are you doing? He said, I am doing prawn cultivation. And that's what he sells somewhere. Then I asked him, how do you cultivate? Where do you get the eatables? Where do you sell it? What is the market price? He looked at me and said, Appa ningalku jamming krishya. Because the way I asked him was, I am also into the same business. Then I said, no, I am a space engineer. Adanda business. That business Allah. No, he got really surprised. Can you learn Chemmin business in 2 rupees in your life? Did I learn? You know the advantage? Whenever I go through that way, whenever I go to Kerala, I have a habit of sending message to everybody. I am sure all the AlAin people who are in contact with me, I had sent a message. Some people must have contacted, some people have been entertained, some people don't entertain. All that is possible. But I do my job. Irrespective of whoever is that, if you have called me once, even if it is a missed call, if it is +971, whenever I got to UAE, you will get a WhatsApp saying that I am here. Run away from your home or come and meet you. That's up to you. And some people are highly egoistic. You didn't tell me. You told the other fellow. I said, I have sent a message. Whether you got it or not, but you know that I am coming, right? It is there on Facebook. It is there on my website. My schedule is there. If you really want, you could have contacted me. That's a different matter. Or you know that this person is contacting me. You could have asked details. That also doesn't do something. But this man, you know what he does? He calls me once in a while and says, sir, whenever you are going there, drop at my house, have chai and all that. I went at least 3-4 times. 2 rupees, yeah? I got biryani, I got nice food. 2 rupees, you got all this, now? Assume that you are highly egoistic, you don't speak to anybody. Eh? Yeah, when somebody says you lost 2 rupees, how does it matter to you? Have you seen such fellows? Will they get chai free of cost? I got chai free of cost. I remember when Delhi to Hyderabad I was traveling in the train. You understand why I am speaking all this, right? Delhi to Hyderabad I was traveling. We were in a first class coupe that time. There were only 6 people in a coupe. And when somebody came, I ordered food. Then they took the money back and said, no food, we have food, we will share. Wonderful. 1.5 days, very good. It's a 36 hours travel. I remember the last station when we reached, the whole family was telling, we don't know how fast the time went. Earlier trip it was so boring. We had a great worst fellow here. Now we have a great sir. You're so nice, so good. Anyway, we have to be very good to get food, na? And they were Sardarjis, sick. Got it? And I know a lot of sick joke. So I asked, the first time I am traveling with a sick Sardarji group. So I asked them, there are a lot of jokes on you. No, tell me, sir, what is the joke? But we have not heard, no. I said, there is a joke which says, generally we learn A for apple, B for? C for? There is a joke, you know, on this, Sardarji. They learn A for apple, B for bada apple, C for chota apple, D for dusra apple. Is it like that? I said, yeah. Then all the other 3 members sat together, made up to Z. I said, now this confirms that you are the real sick fellows. Or nobody else will be able to say this, right? J for? K for? You try? You know, there was one Sardarji. We have a lot of jokes about Sardarji, right? So one day all the Sardarji's groups gathered together and selected the most intelligent Sardarji, decided to send him to USA. The President of America will give a certificate, Sardarji is not fools. So that they can show everybody, don't make jokes, we are not fools, right? Fine? But don't tell this, you are going to meet Washington DC, the President, and he went there, Washington DC, you took a taxi, and the taxi fellow asked, Sir, kam ja raha hai hamara bhaiya? Then he said, yeah, I am going to, but I am not supposed to tell you the reason why I am going. But later, the real reason is to prove that no, we are not. He told all the things saying that you are not supposed to tell the truth. That is Sardarji. He said, okay, fine. You go there. By mistake, the President of India asks you a question and certify that you are not intelligent. You will have to show that everywhere, no? Correct? So I will ask you one question. If you can answer, then go and meet the President. I am staying in America, so I have little brain. You are in India, as Sardarji, there will be less brain. Ask one question. Yeah, you ask. He asked a question, who is the husband of my wife? From the back seat, he was scratching. Drop me back Washington DC airport. I'll go back and I'll ask all the Sardarji to gather again. Ask this question. If anybody can answer, I'll send him here. So Sardarji came and asked, who is the husband of my wife? All the Sardarjis could not answer. But he has collected the answer from the taxi driver. What was the answer he gave? So immediately this Sardarji came and asked, who is the husband of my wife? Nobody could answer. The husband of my wife, you don't know? The taxi driver. You understood what is genuineness in discussions, which I gather knowledge. There is non-genuine people who discuss a lot of things and they copy here and there. They copy. What do they copy? This sort of knowledge. Where without understanding, you by heart something and you write exam. No, this is how you are writing. There are a lot of examination papers when we read. The laughter which you had, I had many times. They don't understand. The question also they don't understand. Don't. Be very serious. Learn every bit of information. Ask questions, confirm, make the knowledge yours. Don't copy and paste, cut and paste. Because today's world is cut and paste. What do? Whenever there is an assignment to be done, You pick it up from somewhere and then hook it up together and then put together and then. When we read, we know the same thing have been repeated in many places. You don't even read many times. Does it not happen? And last moment you will somehow make it, right? Don't do that. So many jokes are coming in. I don't know. One more joke. There is a great speaker who said, I have a great lady who inspired my life. And blah 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 many things said. He said, that's my wife. Or that's my mother. Somebody in the audience, they got this information, but full information was not there. They wrote down only half. So he went and told his wife, I had a great lady who influenced my life. And the lady asked, who is that? I forgot. Finished, no life. That will be the end of your life. You know what is wife? Not for you. You know what is wife? Worry invited forever. Not in AlAin. Not in AlAin. No, AlAin different. Wealth in full enjoyment. You get a lot of money, dowry, right? Yes? Yeah. What do you want? Husband, huh? A husband. You know who a boy loves? The smartest, best, cutest, looking good, wear dress in such a fashion your geography is shown outside. They love them so much. And once they agree love, don't be smart. Now no more smart. Finish. This you are mine. Now no smart. Don't. This dress, no. I don't. Until that time, I love you, I love you. Please love me, I love you, I love you. There are a lot of beggars. They keep on begging. Please love me, please love. Do you think that anywhere in the world somebody loves a beggar, yeah? You say, I don't love you. Please love me. And once you say, I love you. No. Assume in the beginning when you want to know, I will meet you in so and so, which park? Here? Yeah, you all know. I got it. That's the place where you meet. In this mall, in this counter, this place, my father goes that side, I will be in the other side, right? You will plan all this. And assume that fellow is standing there from 6 o'clock saying that you will reach 6 o'clock. Assume 6:30 you go, no problem, you are not late, I am alright. Nah? But once you marry, you become 1 minute late. Once you become really close each other, no? 1 minute late, don't you know that I am here? The whole thing will change. You know the difference between? Got it? The starting love and the ending love. That is why it is called love is a war, easy to start and difficult to end. In every war there is two possibilities, one winner and one loser. Love is the only war in which both losers. In Malayalam there are better words. Pranayame nee in nandarengam. I did a lot of research on love. My teenage time was love research. Pranayame nee in nandarengam. Your andarengam will become vrinidam. It will be like a wound. You cannot get out of it. Start itching and scratching all the time inside. When you see, you will get heart attack. If you don't see, you will get more heart attack. Don't get into this trouble. Yes, you should become a real scholar in which you become a magnet. Lot of iron powders will be around you. And they will say, I love you, I love you. No. കേവലം ഇന്നൊരു താൽക്കാലിക ഭ്രമം പൂ പോലുള്ളൊരു ഓമന കൗതുകം. You know what is a flower? സൗരഭ്യമുള്ള കുസുമം കരമേ ലഭിച്ചാൽ പൂരിച്ച ഘാണമതേറ്റു മുടിക്കു ചൂടും പൂരിച്ച പട്ടിലതുപോലെ മുന്നം കടിച്ച മാൻ ഫല പച്ച പോലെ. Anything you understood? It's Malayalam, yeah? When you get a nice flower, you will put it, ladies will put here, right? Great flower. But evening when it becomes bad, you must see the face of the flower. As if somebody has put it on you. The same flower you have put. That's how people look at relationships. In the beginning it's easier. I'll tell you, life is not that simple. Life is not that simple. A lot of things to learn. How to lead a beautiful life. A lot of people outside, they smile to everybody. At home, I'll show you who am I. That means what? I'll show you my real face. Have you heard this statement many times? That means so far you are not showing real face. No? Correct or not? They'll say, I told you 100 times. No, you told only 2 times. It's the 3rd time. You know why? When you get angry, your brain doesn't work. Counting system have a different number. It is 1 to 100. Not between. Does it not happen? Do you have that guts to say only 2 times you said this the 3rd time? Go and learn, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 first before having. Don't get angry. You know, when you get angry, when your emotional feelings are beyond control, intelligence becomes nil. Both cannot work together, I said, right? Head and heart is another example for that. Don't. Assume your parents are shouting each other. What you should tell? Mahatma Gandhi told once. Now you know balance, right? Both of you will sleep. We don't know who will get up tomorrow, who will die tomorrow. Assume you have scolded somebody and tomorrow they die. The whole life you will have to suffer, na? Correct? I could have smiled at him once before his death. There is no point. Whatever you feel like doing once, if you don't do at that right point of time, finished. You have no second chance. I'll tell most of the time, one of my friend met with an accident. Immediate feeling is I must go and meet him, right? The second feeling, you know, the brain will tell you, anyway he will come back. No, I will see him later. Is that guaranteed? I have to attend an office today and taxi fare is 1,000 rupees. Why should I invest that much? I will see later. Whenever I have to go, that's it, I will see. Is there a guarantee whenever I go, until then they will go? Assume it happens to your closest relative. You will wait for this? Don't you run and go? Never delay. If your manas, the first thing what I said is don't listen to your manas. Now I am saying listen to your manas. Correct? The feeling of love, passion, all that is different, I am saying. For a positive aspect, if the manas says you have to go and meet somebody, go and meet. Don't wait. You have to speak to somebody. Assume somebody telephones to me. Fine? And my phone attended. But that sound happened to be a lady sound. And what you said? To the lady, what did you say? Ask DrTPS to call me back. I have some urgent requirement. Fine? And after 10 days, you telephoned again. And then I picked up the phone. And you told, what is this? You told that for every message you will reply me. Every call you attend my problems, you are my daughter. All that you said, I am your daughter, you are very close to me. All that you said. But last time when I telephoned, your wife picked up the phone. I told to call back. Tell. But you didn't even reply to me. Last week you called? I called. No, I didn't get a message. You ask your wife, na? But last 10 days back, when did you telephone? That's before that Monday, no? Yeah, before that Monday, my wife was not there. My servant was there at home. So your feeling was my wife took the phone, right? Do you expect a servant maid to give that message to me? But you created your story. Am I at mistake? Did you ask the details? Who are you? Why you have to wait 10 days? Why can't you send a message again or try next day again? No. You want to check whether this fellow will come back to me or not, right? Don't we do this many times? Yes? Don't you fight for the small things in your life? Which is important? Assume you feel somebody is important. I have a message to say. Why can't you try 3 times, 4 times, 10 times? Yeah. Send a message. People don't do. I get a lot of messages. You know what the message? Hi. As if his number is 100 and the police fellow's department number. We know this is from police department, right? Or prime minister's number or somebody. You know what do I do sometimes? I will go and Google and find out whether this fellow is existing in the world. Whose number is that? I've got a programmed one. Immediately the message will go. Your introduction, please. Your number is not in my telephone. Try. You will get it. Immediately you will get. And then they will not reply. Finished. Maybe after 10 days, no, they will again say hi. But I have stored his number hi on this day. And then I will reply. Last this day you have sent a hi. Why this again hi? Introduction, please. He cannot say the other day I gave hi and I am the same person. No, you cannot do that. Don't play. Why can't you be little more open in your life? I am so and so person. I attended to your class. This is where I am from. They don't. You don't know how to introduce yourself. You don't know how to start a dialogue. These are all essential in life. Don't take it for granted. There is nothing great taken for granted. You must create. You must create an account. When you open an account, you have to give introduction, right? So every relationship in this world is opening new account. And what do you invest there? In my book, Life Made Simple, there is a description on love account. All of you have opened a love account with me. Whether you invest there or it's a zero balance, I don't care. The more you put inside, I understand that you are very rich in love. Got it? And when you put more, you can take extra loan from me. Credit facility is given. What is the advantage? You can refer somebody for opening an account. There are a lot of people who do that. I attended your class. And somebody else will say, my friend attended your class, therefore I am writing to you. What is that you are doing? Reference. For every bank account you require reference, right? That's a reference. And when you invest more, you can take more credit. And whom do we give credit? Only when we know that they can repay it, right? No bank will give it to a chaprasi. They will give it to only people who can repay back. So the relationship in this world is that when you invest, you start giving, then you will get it back. Don't become a beggar. Got it? If you have not seen Secret Superstar, see the movie. But don't bug your class for singing to Bombay, right? You not seen the movie? Yeah, yes. I keep watching all the movies. See movies and then watch movies and then write reviews, all that I do. Dialogue by dialogue we learn. So invest. Invest relationship. Relationship is the biggest investment. I don't have to have money. The other day I was telling Nani, right? Once I came to Dubai, only 70 or 100 rupees in my hand. I don't mind, because once I come to airport, if I don't know anybody also, I will ask some taxi driver, hey, come here. Some Malayali will come, right? I'm sure at least 10 taxi drivers in most of the airports in Gulf knows me through my radio talk. They may not see me or they may not know me, but I'm sure when I say I'm DrTPS, Sarah. That's a relationship which you build. Got it? And that's a relationship which you have to build. When do you do this? When you become selfish for you, your family, don't help anybody else, nobody will help you in this world. When you start giving to somebody else, automatically you will get it. There was a very confused fellow who was traveling in a boat, 2 people. And then one of the fellow fall down. Generally, what do you do when somebody falls? How? Give your hand. I'll save you. He has never given anything to anybody in his life. How can he give his hand? He said, no, I will not give my hand. Let me die. I am not going to give my hand to you. The other friend knows this fellow is too confused. So what he does? Take my hand. So immediately he took his hand. Both are same. But you must know the difference. There are a lot of people around you, they will never give you anything, but they only take. But give. It doesn't matter. Don't expect anything back. You know, there is a happiness in giving. The mother does lot of things for you. You may not repay anything in your life. The father gives lot of things to you. You may not be able to repay anything in your life. They are already given to you. And no father and mother is supposed to tell you that I gave you love, you must give me back. No. When they give love, automatically they enjoyed the giving. You understood? When somebody sleeps on my lap and I say, oh, I have enjoyed. I have no right to tell that I made you to sleep on my lap. That moment which I am enjoying is my return. Already everybody gets returned by themselves. So no account. Where balance is not created. Balance has to be created by the person who is investing, but not the bank themselves. And that is called unconditional love. What's it called? Unconditional love. I have only unconditional love in my life. A lot of children. What do we do without expecting anything we give? But that's what we are taught. What am I giving? Whatever my guru has given unconditionally to me. I remember when I used to go to his house, he used to give me food and he will sit like this. I lost my father when I was 4 years old. But when I got my guru, he used to feed me like that. He will only serve. He will not allow his wife to serve. This Shashi is my son, not your son. And he will feed me like this and he will sit. Okay. I have not got that opportunity to see my father feeding me like that. So I loved him more than my father, more than anybody else in the world. And therefore he could use a lot of liberty on me. One day he called me and said, Shashi, we are going somewhere. Not that will you come with me, we are going somewhere. I said, where? We are going to Kailas. I was a scientist there in Department of Space with a lot of meetings and busy time and all that, I never say no. There is no to a guru. We are going means going, that's it. Yeah, I have already paid money for your ticket. What a great. You understood? He is 100% sure that I am going to travel with him. And that confidence is what a guru has to have to the desire. I have enjoyed that in my life. I had that enjoyment. That's why I decided I must invest some time for my children, where I will give whatever I have, because that's the only thing my guru said. Whatever I taught you, don't. Your son will fire you on a day, because every father fires the son, right? What is firing? I will also fire my son. Scolding is called firing, right? But you know the last firing in the Hindu rituals after death, what is done? In the graveyard my son will fire me. Which wood will be used will be his choice. If I am very famous, sandalwood will be there, at least one piece. If it is not there, maybe the local, whatever is there. And while firing, if I am sure he knows my son, I taught him. He is supposed to chant a mantra. The mantra is Vayu Ranilam Amritamadedam Basmandam Shariram. Oh Papa, I am going to fire you. I got a chance to fire you, the ultimate last firing. Vayu Ranilam Amritamadedam Basmandam Shariram. And you are going to be a Basma. Ash. How much you know? 160 grams. Even if you weigh 100 kilograms or 60 kilograms, ultimately when somebody fires, your ultimate balance will be between 100 to 160 grams only. Vayu Ranilam Amritamadedam, you will become part of the air. And then little bit of ashes will be there. And the next stanza is very good. Kritos Mara. Papa, you think what is that you have done in your life? Do you think he is expecting an answer from the dead body? 3 times he has to ask. Kritam Smarami. Kritam Smarami. Kritos Mara. Kritam Smarami. What is that you have done in your life, Papa? Every father can say, I produced you. That every animal also does. I can say, I constructed 3 houses in my life. 2 in Hyderabad, 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 houses. 2 in Irigarakuda, 2 in. Every bird, every animal makes either den or nest. Leave it to the next generation, right? Correct? Is that great for a human being? I have invested this much money, made a bangla there, that bangla thing. That doesn't make home, it's a house. 4 walls. What is a house? 4 walls and then window and door, right? Is that the house? Assume you are in a flat apartment. If the ground floor is yours, the roof, if you are in first floor, the floor is yours. No, it is the ground floor's roof, right? If the roof is yours, this wall is yours, what is house? Is it the air inside the house? Then the air outside and inside is same, right? So where is your house? You know, I keep saying, if you think philosophically like this, be inside the house and say this is my house, stay outside and say the whole world is my house. You have a bigger house when you stay outside, right? So which is the biggest house? Staying outside is the biggest house. Good philosophy? Vayurella Mamadavadedam Basmandam Shariram O Kritos Marakridam Smarami. Think what is that you have done. You know why the son is asking the father to think? Not because he wants an answer from the father. Every one of us must think before death, because later we will not be able to think. After death we cannot think. When we have to think, now what? What is that we are doing in our life? What is that you are doing? Going to schools, going to college, produce an engineer and work for some time, marry somebody, produce children, fight with wife, fight with children, create them another engineer, and then generations will fall like this. Are you happy? You ask any Keralite, every time I was coming here for last 17 years, whenever I come, no, now the season is very bad, no? The value has become problem. There are a lot of problem for employees. I was hearing it for last 17 years. Every time when I come, they will tell this. I never heard somebody says, lavish, life is very good. Though the life is very good, you will not tell. If you keep on telling like this, what will happen, no? Assume one of you get married, all of you will get married, doesn't matter. And then when you come back, the father asks you, how is your life? Is that the parents want to listen? What is that you heard from your parents? Have you heard any time the parents says, life is very happy, enjoying? Kashtapada. You know the Telugu people, they will say, Jaragatai, Nyergi Boga. Kannada people, Naditai, going on like this. Tamil, Appadiye Pogarada. But you know, when you go to the north, the Gujarati people, Maje Meche. Have you seen the serials when it comes in the TV? Hindi serials? Always happy. Dashing. You ask the Bangla people? Balwach? Very good. You know, my guru used to say, the happiness of the people in India is comparable to the map of India. As you go southward, it becomes less and less. Kanjus and Kanjus. Kannur is little better. When you go to Trivandrum, it's much worse. Ernakulam, finished. Thrissur, little better. Calicut, little wider. As you go southward, what will happen? You know that, no? Yeah, he knows. You are not from Kerala. That's why you know. You have seen most of the places the temple god stands, right? There is only one place in Kerala where the god is sleeping. You know why? They pull leg of people. God knows somebody is going to pull their leg, so he started flattening them so that nobody can pull his leg. Don't. In life, if you cannot help somebody else, that's not a big issue. Don't disturb anybody. And don't disturb becoming selfish, living yourself, not helping anybody is not life, because you are a human being, you are a social being. Being social, being human, the minimum thing which you can give to anybody is a good smile. Right? Good words. Priya Vakya Pradhanena Sarve Tushyantu Jandavaha Tasma Tadeka Vaktavyam Vajaneka Daridrata. Priya Vakya Pradhanena, when you say good words, Sarve Tushyantu Jandavaha. Even any animal also feel happy. Tasma Tadeka Vaktavyam. Then why can't you give nice words? Priya Vakyam, nice words. Vajaneka Daridrata. Why you want to be confused in nice words? So when you attend a marriage, what you should do? Yeah, your dress is very good. In that yellow dress, no, that black line, cute. But don't do this to everybody around. You must feel that, then only say. Otherwise it looks artificial. You have to be good, saying good. So I told communication, that was my starting. Now ending with the communication. What is the communication that you should have? From the heart. The first one was academic communication. Reading, excellent. Now what did I teach you? In life, how to communicate with the people. How to be appreciating people. You know, Westerners have got a nice, wonderful way of appreciating. They will tell you, your dress is very good. But if I prefer probably a little darker shade. Indirectly, what are they saying? They will not tell you it is not good. Assume you have given a food and they will say, yeah, food is very good, but no, the salt is little more. But what do we do generally? The first thing itself will say it's not good. Don't. Keep saying good words. That has to be a regular, everyday practice. Think good, not enough. Saying good also not enough. Being good is important. Being good creates you good actions. Look at your parents. All of your parents are elder than you, right? Yes or no? Yes. Did they go through your age? Yes. Did you ever ask, at my age, Papa, Mama, what was your dream? I'll tell you, 99.99% of the parents had dreams and they never could just satisfy it. Do you want to be like that? You must create. Nobody gives you, gift you your life. You have to create your life. I'll tell you, I was a space scientist. I was very good in my position. I would have enjoyed living there. You need a lot of courage to quit a job. Not a government job, right? When I left, I asked my son, both sons, I asked my wife. Both said, no problem, we have sufficient money to live. I'm rich for my cup of tea. Where do I have tea, I can decide. Correct? You can have hi-fi tea, right? 750 rupees chai in Taj Hotel in Calcutta. Masala dosha was 2,500 rupees. I stayed there few days for giving lectures. My remuneration was very good. They gave me that accommodation and food. I had my cousin who was staying there, and then I called him once because he could never come inside Taj Hotel like this. So he stayed with me. He was with me for an evening cup of tea, and then having chai, he said, then the chai. After giving chai, you have to make all the job, you have to mix it. You are making your job. What do they do in 5-star hotel? They will give you milk separate, tea powder separate and all. What are you doing? You are cooking. For cooking and you have to pay money also. Come with me, I'll take you to a hotel where they will cook and give you, and you have to give away only 75 paise. Calcutta I had 75 paise chai, which was much better than the 750 rupees chai. I really enjoyed. That day onwards from Taj Hotel I will go morning and then take the 75 paise chai and then come and stay in the Taj Hotel. Correct? So don't think that the rich life makes you happier in life. No. Don't think that most educated fellow is the happiest person in the world. No. As you learn more and more, you will know less and less. You know more and more about one subject is PhD. Got it? In mathematics, one small subject I take and study 5 years. 3 years I studied. Somebody studied 5 years, somebody studied 8 years to get a PhD. What are you doing? Knowing more and more about less and less is PhD. What is PhD? Knowing more and more about less and less. In 10th class, you know a lot of subjects, right? When you come to 12th class, few subjects you will diverse. When you go to graduation, many subjects you will diverse. When you go to post-graduation, again you will diverse a lot of subjects. When you go to PhD, you will diverse everything and only very small. In mathematics, we say knowing more and more about less and less. In mathematics, more and more becomes infinity, less and less becomes zero. Correct or not? So what is PhD? Knowing everything about nothing is PhD. That's why I say PhD is permanent head damage. Perspiration, humiliation, degradation. And my son says passed with high difficulty. And both of them are doing PhD now. They used to make fun, now they are doing PhD. That is not life, I'll tell you. Once you know something, you think I know everything, that's a stupid thing. You will realize I don't know anything. When you do Master of Arts, MA was the first degree, MSc and all came later. I keep saying MA is Master of Ajnana. Ajnana is not having knowledge, right? So you get a Master in Ajnana. When you learn BA History, you think you know the whole history. Then why are you doing Masters? You know why? When you learn Master of Arts in History, you will know I don't know anything in history. Little knowledge will tell you I know everything. But when you get inside, you will know there are many things to learn. Veda is also like that. When we started learning, we think I know everything in this world. No. When you get inside, you will know there are much more to learn. The whole one life is not enough. Many years of life is not enough to learn everything, and you cannot finish. You will finish. I keep saying, I will keep telling stories to my children, keep removing my grey hair. My story will end. You understood, no? My story will end. The time my story will end. You understood? Will there life which you end anything in your life? No. Until the last breath you have a lot of things to learn. What for? To become more wiser, accepting everything around you which is created for you to think positive. Fine? We were landlords. Lot of land was there. Whatever we see from my house was my house. That was my mother's and mother's sisters. Papatan's mother and my mother and another 2-3 sisters. And most of the part was lost. And I keep asking my mother, we lost everything. Are you not feeling? My mother used to play with an elephant. We had elephant at home to play. We had a deer for play. Have you seen such places? Like a kingly life. But with all the problems, because it's a village. I kept asking my mother, don't you feel bad? Then what she does, she keeps me on the lap and then say, you are there, no, you are my wealth. Lakshana putra nendina yodhanam. You are the most best fellow in the world. And you are my wealth and you don't require wealth. A good person doesn't require wealth. And next one, that's much more beautiful. Alakshana putra nendina yodhanam. Assume you are the worst fellow in the world. Do you think parents will give them money and then say that? If you are not good, whoever gives you money, you will waste it, right? For a good person, parents don't have to give money because they will make themselves. If you are a worst son, there is no point in giving money. So both way, good and bad, you don't require money, no? Lakshana putra nandina yodhanam, alakshana putra nandina yodhanam. So what is the wealth? Your ability to live happily is your, what makes you happy? Arjide dukkham, veye dukkham, dhanam sarvatra dukkadam. Earning money is a trouble. Keeping money is a bigger trouble. Spending money is the biggest trouble. Correct or not? Somebody asked me, how much you paid for this kurta? Yeah, he says $100. This is Fab India, yeah? 450 or 500 rupees. I did not pay anyway. Assume you have paid 500 rupees and somebody says, 500 rupees? 200 rupees it's available in Ernakulam. What do I think now? My 300 is lost, right? Correct or not? Somebody says, 500 rupees only? Last month, my husband purchased for 3,000 rupees. I feel very happy because they lost money. Don't we compare like this most of the time? Assume you purchased some orange or maybe some tomato you purchased here? Tomato, fine? Your mother purchased a tomato. How much you paid? 7 dirhams? Yeah. When you got the tomato at home, your neighbor says, in that other mall now, 6 dirhams only. My 1 dirham is gone. And you know what happened? Whenever you make sambar, when you see the tomato, 1 dirham. Are we not like that? Correct or not? What for, yeah? Can't you enjoy forgetting about small problems and small laws in life? What is the most precious thing in life? Moment. What is most precious? Moments. The moments which we had. Now Rani met me only once. And then only few minutes probably. Yes, that's a moment. What do you remember in life? You may not remember the month, you may not remember the year, you may not remember the week, you may not remember the date, you may not remember the hour, but you remember moments. You know who is the richest man in the world? Who has got lot of precious moments to cherish. So what is life? Creating precious moments. You know Mayamma, no? Right? Once I went to Muscat, I was there, and generally she receives me because I go to Oman. Once what happened, she was in India and I was in Oman, and she was traveling and she came to Oman airport. So yeah, son was there with me. So I said, let us make fun. And we went to a mall, purchased one coconut, purchased little banana, and he also purchased a bouquet. And when she landed and came, what we did? We gave banana to receive her and coconut to receive. Everybody in the airport was looking at this method of receiving. Yeah? Did I create a moment? I asked somebody to take a video. It's a great moment in life, no? Yes or no? Can't you create something different? She was there in my house. Midnight at 12 o'clock only, I know that her birthday. In a village, what do you do? Here 12 o'clock you can go to mall and purchase something as a gift. What do I give a poor man? Morning I was thinking, what do I give? I should have given for payasam making in the temple. That's the only thing which we can give, because we generally use the priest as our cook. Pay some money, he will give, make payasam and give it, you know. That's what we do. And there are temples in Kerala where you get chicken also. Yeah. Saturday I go to some house, they give everyday chicken only. Chapati chicken. I said, what happened here? Every day same taste, same item you are going. You know, the near temple, the priest makes it. There is an offering, one chicken. You know this? Yeah, it's the Kalarivadikal temple. Don't try this. I am sure the rush will be more than next time. So what did I do? Morning I was looking at it, immediately Bhagavan, oh Bhagavan. Immediately Bhagavan gave a coconut. So I removed the shell, gave water to her. What is the best paniyam in the world, you know? Coconut water. And if it is kept for few more days with sugar inside, very good. Highly intoxicating, which I did not do with her. And then cut the coconut and made a spiral and then fed her. I took the copra. When I look at it, I felt that I can make a nice tree out of it, and then drew some picture and then gifted. So I created my own gift. I am sure in your life you will never get such. Will you get? That's what we do. We create. What is that? It's a moment in life. She may forget, but I will not forget in my life. Because that's my creativity, right? You have to be creative. Don't copy. Now don't try for the next birthday to fall. It may not fall. Don't go and stand there. It may fall only. That will be the last birthday. Don't try that. Moments. What is that? Moments. I remember traveling to Goa once in a train. I had only RAC ticket. The lady who was sitting had a big book. I was looking, envying on her purchasing capacity, because the book was costing 6,000 rupees. It's written outside. And that was on Kerala agriculture. And the white lady looks like not a Kerala, not an Indian. I was waiting for to keep the book down. I will pick it up, because they will be tired after some time reading, right? And I am sure I cannot finish reading that book in the whole Goa trip. We cannot sleep because both of us are in RAC. Sometimes what I do is, I will tell them, I am not sleepy. If you are sleepy, I carry generally some paper. And then tell them, you can put the paper down and sleep if you are really sleepy. When he sleeps, I will sleep here peacefully. RAC is sharing the same seat by two people, right? So I do that. And this lady, I don't want her to sleep. I don't want her to sleep also. When she kept the book down, I asked her, I cannot finish reading it. Can you explain the essence of this, whatever portion you have read? She was so happy. She explained everything. 350 rupees ticket, I got a benefit of 6,000 rupees book. And she was doing research on Kerala agriculture. She was from Netherlands. Simple. Moment which I could tell stories, many like this. Starting from my travel. You had a lot of travel. Did you create moments? Don't worry, huh? You ask the neighbor who is sitting beside you, uncle, how are you? Let them not ankle you, that's a different matter. You must take care. Ask them, talk to them, learn from them, and you will have a lot of stories in life. Talk to your parents. Don't keep on investing time on ting. That also you can do, but that also must be learning. Invest your time on TV, invest your time on book, invest your time on anything, no, doesn't matter. But all investment must look for something which returns you back. I know that I spoke too much today, but I continued because I was looking at your face and none of you have seen your watch. I don't know, is the watch here? No watch. Why you have not seen watch? You know? Why you have not seen watch? Because interesting, right? But I know I have to stop. It's 10 o'clock now. How many hours I spoke? I can go on like this for hours together in my life. It will not be over. Because I created a lot of moments in my life. Now when I go back somewhere, I will say, you know what do I say? Last time you look at, I'm not joking, you look at all my programs after this AlAin, I told everyone, my best program is in AlAin. And I'll tell you, my best camp ever I had is this. Because I didn't have this vibrant young children like you in my life. I had camps many places. A lot of activities were there. But here there is this group which is a nice age. I kept on telling, Dubai I have a lot of listeners, Abu Dhabi